As corroborating, irrefutable evidence continues to mount, documenting region-building efforts throughout the world. It dispels any notion that the accounts of region-building in North America should be dismissed as a conspiracy theory. Evidence of the intent to integrate North America is also irrefutable, and is supported by comparing the objectives of North American integration with the objectives found in other regions. This comparison reveals that, at varying stages, all of these geopolitical regions, including North America, are pursuing the same region-building objectives, including harmonization of trade, customs, and industry regulations among the nations within each region, integrated regional infrastructure, including regional power grids, pipelines, and highways, integrated regional courts, tribunals, parliaments, and regulatory agencies that supersede national jurisdictions, integrated military and law enforcement, with intelligence information sharing ostensibly to fight terrorism and crime that transcends national borders. Outer security perimeters, modeled after the European Union's Schengen zone, within which there is to be a free flow of cargo, services, and people among the nations within each regional perimeter. And economic and monetary integration, up to and including a common currency in each region, in accordance with the 5 stages of economic integration. In reviewing these objectives, it is important to keep in mind that some of these regions have by now openly stated their ultimate goal of political integration.
Our 3 nations are launching a new effort to get rid of outdated regulations that stifle job creation. Here in the United States, our efforts to cut red tape and ensure smart regulations will help achieve savings and benefits to businesses, consumers, and our country of more than $100 billion. And we're already working to streamline and coordinate regulations with Canada and Mexico on a bilateral basis. So now our 3 nations are going to sit down together, go through the books, and simplify and eliminate more regulations.
At the NAFTA 20 summit, Mexico's ambassador to the U.S., Arturo Sarocon, revealed the globalist strategy to use multinational trade agreements to backdoor deeper regulatory integration into the NAFTA region.
If we think of how do we deepen and strengthen the North American architecture, there's one thing that will allow us to do this, and that's the TPP, the Trans-Pacific Partnership. The problem is I don't think there's the political willingness, at least in Canada and in the United States today, to go down the route of deepening NAFTA. The beauty of TPP is it allows us to do this through the backbone. Why? Because by having Mexico, Canada, and the United States join the TPP negotiations, it will bring us up from the bootstraps and through the backbone. It modernizes NAFTA by bringing NAFTA up on issues like IPR, environmental standards, labor, state-owned enterprises. It brings our trade infrastructure up to a, in many ways, NAFTA was a 1.0 free trade agreement. TPP is a 3.0 free trade agreement. And when our dear friends and colleagues in Capitol Hill wax lyrically about, oh, buy American, what we have to tell them is, you're wrong. We should be buying North American. Our exports no longer have a passport. They're truly North American exports.
Some 90% of all our trade, more than $1 billion in trade every single day, passes through our roads, our bridges, and our ports. But because of old systems and heavy congestion, it still takes too many products too long to cross our borders. And for every business, either Canadian or American, time is money. So we're going to improve our infrastructure.
Canada's oil is helpful in the world market, but the United States has the resources to achieve energy independence without it. Pipelines are essential for a nation's economic independence, but Obama's eventual okay of the Keystone XL pipeline must be seen as part of the push for the regional infrastructure of North America, as globalist Mitt Romney's bait-and-switch campaign slogan indicated. Similarly, the TAPI pipeline will aid Afghanistan's New Silk Road integration into the South Asian region SAARC.
Welcome to the second session of the 39th Legislative Assembly of the Province of Manitoba. Manitoba is also taking a major role in the development of a mid-continent trade corridor, connecting our northern port of Churchill with trade markets throughout the central U.S. and Mexico. To advance the concept, an alliance has been built with business leaders and state and city governments spanning the entire length of the corridor. When fully developed, the trade route will incorporate an inland port in Winnipeg with pre-clearance for international shipping.
This New York Times article from 2004 describes the little-known chapter in the 1993-94 NAFTA agreement that established NAFTA tribunals that were given power to overturn U.S. Supreme Court commerce decisions. The article suggests that this was overlooked by Congress, but it must be asked, were Presidents Bill Clinton, George H.W. Bush, Jimmy Carter, and Gerald Ford, along with members of Congress who pushed NAFTA, really that ignorant of its content? Or were they, in reality, that subversive?
For a president accused of not getting out the big artillery in support of the North American Trade Agreement, how about this? Down the hall to the White House East Room he came with 3 of his predecessors in tow. They were there for the signing of side deals to the trade agreement. But the real effort by Mr. Clinton today was to say to doubters that he's prepared to fight for the treaty, which is in trouble in Congress. Mr. Bush, whose administration negotiated the deal, said failure to ratify it would smack of anti-Mexican bias in the U.S. President Carter, without mentioning him by name, strongly attacked Ross Perot, who's been leading a campaign against the treaty.
We have a demagogue who has unlimited financial resources.
Gerald Ford warned Congress the treaty's failure would intensify the stream of illegal Mexican aliens crossing the U.S. border.
Don't gamble. If you defeat NAFTA, you have to share the responsibility for increased immigration to the United States, where they want jobs that are presently being held by Americans.